Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. Good morning to you. Mark again here at Weatherman Plus. Now I'm going to show you the latest information on what's going on with Invest 98L. I'm still showing some very serious potential impacts, and now it's getting closer towards Jamaica as the trend. So remember, timestamps are in the description to help save you time. Please help me share this video, like this video, help give this information to others, because above all things, as every other YouTuber here, main thing we pride in is safety. So God bless you all. Let's get into the video. Now this run that we're looking at here, this is the GFS, and you can see where the new spaghetti models are showing a lot of turning to the north, and there is a few that's going to the southwest of the Caribbean. That's because we have an upper level high, and the timing on that depends on where it swings further south or swings it up. I will show you. But the latest information so far on Invest 98L is that it's at 1009 millibar pressure, maximum winds 34 miles per hour, moving west. I'm showing not only with the temperatures, but also with the data that this more than likely will become a tropical depression just within the next 24 hours. And whether it gets the thunderstorms all the way around the center, whether it's vertically stacked, whether it gets a tropical depression, maybe a potential tropical depression, there could be tropical depression to tropical storm conditions hitting the Windward Islands as it grows and goes towards Jamaica, still southern, but it still gets very close according to the GFS. And from what I can see, according to the H-Wharf, not only with the temperatures, this has a chance to strengthen not only to a tropical storm real quick, to a hurricane by Jamaica, and possibly getting to a major hurricane before it even gets to the Western Caribbean. And the 8 o'clock update is out, and it still has it at 90% in 5 days, 70% in 48 hours. It literally is going to form soon, guys. And as you can see, the update so far is Fiona's outflow is still putting a lot of shear on the top side of this wave, and that's what's stopping it from forming so quick. It's still trying. Look at all the bursting and convection that you have on the south side of this. So this will be forming quick. As soon as it gets away from this shear, it will grow fast. You can see a better shot here on the water vapor as it's coming around. It is giving it a lot of shear from Fiona. But look at the thunderstorms already bursting up. It's already trying to go all the way around. Look at that. It is forming fast as soon as it gets away from this. So be careful over there by the Windward Islands. I do have links for you to see your possible rainfall and your possible wind gusts as this passes by. It is potentially a tropical storm going by you. So you can see the update with National Hurricane Center. Literally in 24 hours, it's a possible tropical cyclone going right over the Windward Islands. And in 48 hours, it's going to be moving even further to the west, northwest, not southwest. And that's very important. I will show you why. Potentially a tropical cyclone, and in 72 hours, way better formation, more than likely going to have a tropical cyclone. But you see how you have it right here on your wave, right below Dominican Republic, right down the center of it in 72 hours. So in 72 hours, according to the GFS, it is showing that it is starting to strengthen up. And as you look with the Canadian model, it pushes it a little bit further to the west, but just like GFS, showing it having some good strength. Now the Euro is only one that shows round about that area in 72 hours, but it shows it a little bit weaker, a little bit more disorganized. And actually with the water temperatures going into favorable environment, less shear, this should be way more organized in 72 hours. I think we will have formation in 48 hours. Now on this run on the streamline winds, you can see Fiona go up to the northern Atlantic, and you have this big upper level high right here, right over Dominican Republic, steering everything in this direction. And that is the direction that the wave keeps on going. But if you notice, right as it goes towards Jamaica, this high pressure is circling right above it. So the Euro shows that it'll be right above it. It's going to swing right around. The Canadian shows it follows it to the west a little bit and keeps this further suppressed. That's why it goes towards Nicaragua, Honduras, possibly the Western Caribbean. But the GFS and the Euro is showing that this high pressure will swing around to the east, and that would put this going on this western, northwestern direction. But after it does that, remember we still have this upper level low over here that could be giving it some issues. And so far as it gets into the Gulf, we do get this cold front coming through. It does make a big trough, and it does put a lot of shear on this system. And as you take a graph to see what it could be and see what the image is, you can see that it's getting 19 knot winds of shear on this system. So you have it going from the east to the west on a lower level, but you can see as you go higher in elevations, it starts slowly drifting from the west to the east. So there is getting some shear on this system as it moves over Cuba, but it still strengthens up, go towards Florida, still getting a lot of shear, but it's getting in this trough where it's bringing it up. So I know Texas ask all the time, there's no way it can go towards you, Texas. This cold front is going to come in and block for you, but this trough is going to bring it up towards Florida and over the southeast, just following these streamline winds, and potentially touch twice as a major hurricane for North Carolina and for Florida. So as you look at your sea surface temperatures, according to HWRF, literally in 15 hours, it is going through 30 degrees Celsius temperatures. 30 degrees Celsius is 86, a little above degrees Fahrenheit. All it needs is 80 to sustain a tropical system. You see, it does go through a portion of cooler waters and downgrades literally in 24 hours. It is just too far to the south, and it's hitting 27, 28 degrees Celsius. It means it's still maintaining, it's still at least 80 to 82 degrees Fahrenheit, but it goes through warmer waters. As soon as it gets away from that shear, as soon as it gets away from that cooler waters, it starts intensifying. It starts going to 29 degrees Celsius with 30 plus in front of it. Now 29 is 84 to 85 degrees and 30 is 86 above. Very warm temperatures. And you can see the whole track as it goes through it. It stays in 29 to 30 degree Celsius temperatures. This is in high 80s the whole path through the Caribbean. So there's no way this system will not rapid intensify. There's no way we won't get abomogenesis out of this system. Literally in 5 days, a 954. So in 72 hours, according to the Euro, this is the more likely area that you will see this system. And as you keep going forward towards 5 days, you can see it also moves towards Jamaica. It could be either going over Jamaica or it could be going on that south-southwest trend because of that upper level high. This is the big two differences. If the upper level high does not affect this system, does not hover over this system and move with it, keeping it south, like the Canadian been seeing, that's why the Canadian brings it to the Bay of Campeche. You can see these two dark blue lines here that as it moves, and if it takes that route, it will be with this southern group. If it don't push it to the south and it moves to the east and allows this to curve back up, this is where it's going to go, more than likely right over you, Jamaica. And as you keep going to see what the potential is, you can see in the update this morning that you have your two groups. So the high pressure, the upper level high that it's going to deal with within 5 days, that's why we take it only 5 days on this one, is because you see the first group will make that northern turn towards Florida, towards the east coast. That second group, that if the upper level high affects it, will be moving western over the Western Caribbean, affecting Nicaragua, Honduras, the Yucatan, and going possibly into the Bay of Campeche, just like the Canadian has been seeing. It will go into the bay, while that northern turn will take it a little northern. Now, more trends has been showing, no matter what, even if it gets to the west, is going to head north, being pulled around this high pressure over here, swinging everything around. So that's going to make all the difference in the world on where this cyclone is going next. So you can see your chances for a tropical depression with the Euro, and actually the Euro is going against all the data because it's going into very warm waters. Still, the Euro takes it where it don't strengthen up to maybe where it goes towards Jamaica, and right there it's showing it be somewhere 70 to 80% chance of a tropical depression. So this is not believable. As you look with the GFS, you can see it shows that no matter what, it will start being a tropical depression, if not now, very soon as it goes by the Windward Islands, getting away from the shear and the warmer waters. You also can see what the most likely tracks are. So what you have here is you have the deterministic. So this model run shows that it more likely will do that wobble by the upper level high, still head north, going through the Gulf of Mexico, still curving around to the southeast because we have that negative tilt on that storm. As you see, the means, the average is this black line showing it will be closer towards Jamaica and curving over Cuba. And the control member, which means out of all these ensembles, more than likely will go by Jamaica on a high pull. So it'd be even closer to Jamaica as it goes over Cuba with a little wobble towards Florida Keys. You can see the update here with the Canadian. As you look for your streamline winds, you have your upper level high. This is in 72 hours. As all this flow pushes it a little further to the south than a western push. And a western push seems like what the streamlines will be doing, not the southern push. Still, with this run of the Canadian, this is why it's been taking a little bit southern, as this shows this upper level high is right above this system as it strengthens up to a tropical storm. As it gets stronger, that upper level high stays with it for quite some time, bringing it more of a southern dip, giving it a better chance to ride over the Western Caribbean, possibly over the Yucatan. You can also see this on the possible locations. Now, deterministic means this model run in the purple. You see how it takes it further to the south, still goes to the Western Caribbean, and maybe go into the Bay of Campeche still. But as you look at your average, your means, this black one, this shows that no matter what, this will still take the same path that GFS is seeing, that it will go over Cuba and go into the northeastern Gulf of Mexico, probably over Florida. And as you look at your control member, which means out of all these possibilities, shows it will go over Cuba and take a little bit of a western turn before this trough and this cold front comes in. Now, the latest update on intensity does show that it more likely will be a tropical storm, guys, in the next 12 to 24 hours. Grow into its chances for a hurricane in 5 days as it passes by Jamaica. And a lot of them showing it will go to a Cat 2 or higher. But as you look at the updated intensity, the 6Z that just come out, you can see it definitely is expected to be a tropical storm 12 to 24 hours away. But literally in 4.5 to 5 days, it is going to be a hurricane. This right here down here is that western push, so don't pay attention to that. It's trending to the north. And be a Cat 2, even a major hurricane once it goes 5 days to 6 days and beyond. So we are looking at a potential major hurricane. H-Wharf takes it where it's going to extremely intensify to Cat 4 and beyond once it gets to 5 days. And this is right by Jamaica. Not only a major hurricane, but a potential Cat 4. There's a lot of warm waters. This is very believable. So as you look and see what the impacts could be, you can see it brings a lot of rainfall towards the Windward Islands. I do have a way for y'all to see that and stay updated on that. But as it goes through the Caribbean, it does make that west to northwest push, going right towards Jamaica, bringing strong impacts in 5 days. So we're already at 5 days. Things could still change. So I'm not trying to say you're getting a hurricane Jamaica, but it is trending, strengthening right by you. So the Euro shows in 5 days after this, just see the possible outcomes. It's still trending that it will strengthen up, go towards Florida right around the 28th, and go over Florida because we're getting this negative tilt. It pulls it up, I'll show you, and goes back on landfall for South Carolina, North Carolina. So we could have a double landfall from this system. GFS agrees also that it will be bringing heavy precipitation towards the Windward Islands in 24 to 30 hours. Then as it goes through the Caribbean, it shows also it will make that west-northwest jog, still bringing it close towards Jamaica. A well-formed system. You can see all the outflow, all the bands coming around, very well defined, possibly a hurricane Jamaica. As it goes towards Western Caribbean, literally a little over 5 days, 6 days away, a major hurricane in the Western Gulf of Mexico. Then after that, goes over to Cayman Islands, gets right in the center and gets into our Gulf of Mexico. Then it gets that negative tilt, not big negative tilt. GFS and Urals timing is a little different on that cold front, but it still gets pulled to the north, to the northeast after that. So here's the difference. When that cold front comes down from the 25th to the 28th, 29th, GFS is showing that the system will pass by and that trough will pass by as well, and there won't be any impacts or anything stopping that from coming. You can see it's getting a lot of shear. All these storms are getting sheared off to the east. So there is a trough, there is a cold front, but it's not showing that the main part of the trough is going to affect this system. And the Euro is showing, just like how this is going to be a baseball bat hitting Fiona away, that when that next trough comes down, it will also come down deep, and it will also be another batter up for swing and bringing that on a negative tilt, pulling this system up. So the main thing is, as it goes through the Caribbean, if it is a weak system going to the Western Caribbean, it is believable that it will travel further to the Western Caribbean because it has to be stronger than the 850 millibar height for this jet stream to pull this all to the north. Now, if it is a strong system as it goes through the Western Caribbean, it will be pulled northern. So a weaker system will go further west, maybe the Bay of Campeche. A stronger system, which is believable because of the temperatures and low shear, it will head north. And as it brings it up on that high ridge, just pulls it right up on this ridge after Florida, is why it comes back towards the Carolinas as well. That negative tilt, that's not good. Because then it grabs itself and forms up to a major system on the East Coast. We do need to watch this one very closely. I have these links in the description for all of you. It is a very zoomable link. You can zoom in, you can zoom out and see what the possibilities are. So as far as rainfall amounts, the next 5 days. So the Euro shows Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago, St. George's, Kingstown, Bridgetown, Castries. Y'all could get 1 to possibly 2 inches of rainfall. GFS has shown it as well, but GFS takes a little bit further south where Port of Spain could get almost 4 inches of rainfall. Then as you go further towards Jamaica, go for the full track. So far, remember, this is subject to change. It could bring 2 inches towards Jamaica as you go for the GFS. The Euro is taking it to where all north side loaded, still disorganized, will bring a lot of rainfall for you, Jamaica. So within the next 5 days, maybe the east side Jamaica could get an inch of rainfall. But once you go to 10 days, Euro is showing a lot of rainfall coming your way. So please be aware. Cayman Islands, Euro and GFS is showing heavy rainfall for y'all. GFS is showing for the Gulf of Mexico that it will be Alabama, Georgia, Panhandle, Florida, possibly more. And east side loaded is going to affect Florida as well. Euro is seeing that big turn, and also what the control members are showing that it will turn, that it will put something possibly on the Bahamas, put a lot of heavy rainfall towards Florida, the whole central to southern from Orlando south, and it will affect Jacksonville staying close. Then it will go back by the Carolinas and bring possibly a lot of heavy rainfall for y'all as well. So remember, these links are in the description for you to use. Also with your wind gusts, Euro is showing for the Windward Islands, you could get 30s, maybe even high 30 miles per hour wind gusts. And GFS is still showing it's still further south with all these impacts, and it will be St. George's, Port of Spain, Kingstown, even Bridgetown. All y'all getting tropical storm wind gusts coming, at least 30 miles per hour, maybe the higher 30s. Now, when you go to the next 5 days, the Euro is showing that it's just starting to strengthen up as it goes by Jamaica. GFS is showing it will strengthen up. Very warm temperatures, very believable, but all the winds will still be out here in the Caribbean. So it looks like a lot of heavy rainfall so far for you, Jamaica. Maybe some high 20 miles per hour wind gusts as it passes by, maybe 30. But for the full 10-day tracks, it is showing, according to the GFS, Cayman Islands, anywhere from 80 to 100 plus miles per hour wind gusts is right to the west of you. So this moves over a little bit. Could be a big problem for you. Florida Keys, tropical storm wind gusts. New Orleans, tropical storm wind gusts, but start getting higher as you go towards southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, Panhandle of Florida, in the southeast. And this will strengthen up. We just don't have a lot of distance. This is the first 10 days. This will upgrade. According to the Euro, it will stay further to the east. It's still bringing strong winds to the Cayman Islands, but as it goes over Florida Keys, it is showing you are right in direct impact so far as this update this morning. 130 miles per hour wind gusts coming over you. Marco Island, 115 miles per hour wind gusts as it goes by Miami, Port St. Lucie. All y'all getting very high wind gusts in the 80s to 90s. Then it goes offshore, still affecting Sarasota, Tampa, 40, 50 miles per hour wind gusts. 60s and 70s, and then get down to the 50s for Jacksonville. Most of the wind, since the east side loaded, will be in Atlantic, but it will bring 40, 50, and 60 miles per hour wind gusts as it goes up the East Coast. Becomes this little monster system. So I will keep you updated. This is starting to grow more and more. Even bringing almost hurricane force wind gusts to Virginia Beach. Definitely by Havelock, North Carolina. This is starting to look bad for a lot of people. Now, those links are in the description for you to use, as well as this one. This one is Mr. Weatherman's channel. He is awesome for everybody in the Caribbean. He believes in safety first. He believes in God. That's why I love the man the most. But I've known him since he had 30,000 subscribers. His name is Brian Shields. He has over 100,000 subscribers. He don't do hype, and he just talks about safety and showing you what could happen. So if you're in the Caribbean, please do me a favor and do yourself a favor. Go subscribe to this man. The link is in the description of this video right below you, and it will have his channel on there for you to subscribe to. He shows you timing, impacts. He loves to help out everybody in the Caribbean. No island is too small for this man. Please go subscribe to him. He is awesome. While you're there, tell him I said hi. But you still have the storms come through the southwest, all the residual from these waves in the eastern Pacific. So you're still under that moderate flood risk in the southwest. You have a lot of storms coming all afternoon long, all night into the early morning hours for Colorado, as well as for Kansas and Nebraska. Plus, you have all this chances for severe weather in the northeast for today. So starting at 7 o'clock tonight, you have your tornado chances that has been increased, and chances for storms to pop off all night long into the early morning hours as well. So God bless all of you. I'd like to say a prayer for Puerto Rico to be restored quickly, because they've gone through enough, guys, and last thing they need is all this again. So God bless everybody. Thank you for visiting my channel today. If I seem a little swimmy today, I apologize. Had an issue yesterday. I had to go to the emergency room, and I'm actually on a pain pill this morning, so I apologize if I'm a little swimmy. But thank you so much for visiting my channel. If this information has helped you, or you think it's important for others to see, think about hitting that like button. Please share this on social media and get this around, not just on YouTube. Thank you so much for your help. God bless you all. Now for the prayer, I'd like to say Psalm 51, 1 through 13. Have mercy upon me, O God, according to thy loving kindness. According unto the multitude of thy tender mercies, blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from my iniquity, and cleanse me from my sin. For I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sin is ever before me. Against thee, thee only, have I sinned, and done this evil in thy sight, that thou mightest be justified when thou speakest, and be clear when thou judgest. Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. Behold, thou desirest truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden part thou shalt make me to know wisdom. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice. Hide thy face from my sins, and blot out all mine iniquities. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. Cast me not away from thy presence, and take not thy Holy Spirit from me. Restore unto me the joy of thy salvation, and uphold me with thy free spirit. Then will I teach transgressors thy ways, and sinners shall be converted unto thee. Amen. God bless you all today. May you have a very blessed day. I don't know if I'm going to start doing updates in the afternoon yet, today or tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe so you can get those as well. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. And all glory goes to Yahweh, our Father, forever and ever. Amen. Hallelujah. Have a great Wednesday, everyone.